Hello and welcome along to this week's vlog. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content because it'd be great to build up my subscribers. But we've got lots to celebrate this week. Let's start with we are really celebrating having 7 days without a poo incident. No big accidents, no small accidents, no poo incidents whatsoever. All poo has gone down the toilet. Yay! um, I mean, it's brilliant. It is really something to celebrate because it's been practically sort of every other day, I would say. But really hoping that I'm not tempting fate. But we celebrate what we can. We've got 7 days. I didn't tell him yesterday until late in the evening, just in case. I was like, I don't want to tempt fate at all with him. But yeah, I mean, that's just something really, really makes a difference to the way he feels and just your own self-esteem and that. So it's, I mean, I don't like to be thinking that we're celebrating not pooing on the floor or anything or in your pants, but here we are. This is what we are celebrating. But it is such a big thing because if this stops or it slows down, then it gives us the opportunity to go out a lot more because this is one of the reasons that we don't go out. So it's a big thing. But other good news, we've got quite a lot of good news this week. So another good news, we had blood tests on Sunday and then we went to see the consultant on Tuesday. All his bloods are looking good at the moment. So the stem cell transplant did what it was supposed to have done. The cancer's at a very low level. And, we are calling it in remission really at the moment, which is good because that's what I said on my travel insurance when I bought it last week. But that's good. No, it is though. We know it's going to be back, and that's why we know he's got a couple of years. And when it comes back, it will come back, probably quite quickly. But they've given him some chemo tablets again now. So these are chemo tablets he takes at home, take them for 3 weeks, off for a week. And that'll be forever now because that's like maintenance. And the idea of that is it slows the cancer down. So we know it's going to come back, but the aim of the chemo tablets is to try and keep it at bay for as long as possible and slow the growth down. So that's good. And it's always good to see the consultant in person. I mean, it is exhausting to go there. I mean, getting Nick ready and out of the house on time, parking is often horrendous at the hospital. It was absolutely pissing it down when we went on Tuesday. And then there's always a long wait to see the consultant. I mean, they're so busy and I think they get 10 minutes per person and, we're in there for at least 20. So, we have actually on occasion waited 3 hours past our appointment slot. But anyway, this week it was okay. Our appointment was at 1. We were actually seen at about 2:15. So not bad, and even better considering the fact that we were late. We didn't get there till about 1:30 anyway, so we actually only waited about 45 minutes in the end. So, and it is worth seeing the consultant. He's very good, and it's always much better to do these things in person. It's just not the same over the phone. Although we have agreed that the next couple of call them meetings, consultations with them will be over the phone because we don't need to be there all the time. If we're just checking that bloods are okay and nothing needs doing and we're just going to continue the way we are, then we can have the next couple on the phone. So, and that's easier because then you're just waiting at home. That doesn't, it doesn't hold you up doing anything. So that was all good as well. And then we went for Subway at the hospital. But that was bad news because Mick wanted a meatball marinara and they didn't have any. So he ended up having tuna with jalapenos and lots of red onions and stuff. So it's still nice, but not the meatball marinara that he wanted. But, what else? So more good news. Max Verstappen did not win the Australian Grand Prix at the weekend because he broke down. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but I am laughing because it just made for a much more interesting race. And Carlos Sainz won the race in a Ferrari just 2 weeks after having surgery to remove his appendix. So pretty impressive stuff from him. And it did make the race more interesting. And Lando Norris, our British interest, actually came third and was on the podium. So, and if you're interested, Lewis Hamilton broke down as well. So he didn't it was finish the race, and George Russell, the other Brit in the Mercedes, he crashed on the last lap. So he didn't finish either. So, but it made for a much more interesting race without Max there. I've got nothing against him. He's a brilliant driver, but it's just boring. What else happened this week? I went to visit my mum and dad because my sister and her family are over. So my sister lives in Germany. She moved out there, God, many years ago, 20, 25 years ago. She did some studying out there. She got herself a job out there, and then she met a man, a German. She married him. She settled over there. I mean, Lucy, my niece, is going to be 19 in July, and Ben, my nephew, is going to be 15 June and July. One of them's June, one of them's July. I should know, shouldn't I? I do know, really. But anyway, they're almost 19 and almost 15, so they're very grown up now. They're not really children anymore. So it was nice to see them. We chatted and we sat and ate chocolate and all the bad things that was not supposed to be eating. Mick didn't come. He didn't really feel well enough because it's an hour's journey there and an hour's journey back, and then a couple of hours there, a few hours there, and that's just exhausting for him at the moment. So he didn't come, but that's okay. He was all right at home on his own. I mean, it's quite tiring for me even doing all that, but can't blame him for not wanting to do that. So, and good news, my knee is on the mend. It's definitely on the mend. So I've been for a few shorter walks this week, sort of between about 3 miles, in between the rain showers, because the weather is just dreadful. I mean, I'm looking at it now and it's absolutely pouring down. And it just feels like it's grey and wet all of the time. And that does impact on my mood. When we sit in the kitchen, Mick's chair looks literally directly out of a big picture window. I did say to him this morning, you want to sit somewhere else so that you can't see it. I mean, this afternoon we'll probably go into the living room, close the curtains and watch a film or something because it's just so dreary. And it makes me think back because it's exactly 4 weeks ago, no, it's exactly 4 years ago this week that the world changed and we all got told to stay at home. But what I remember about that time is that the weather was fabulous. I actually got a tan last spring, whereas this year it's just rust. And a lot's happened in that last 4 years, hasn't it? I mean, for us, most of it's been good. I was made redundant just before COVID. And since then, I've set up my own successful coaching business, which actually was made so much easier by the use of Zoom and Skype. Very few of my clients are local. All my sessions are online. It's been brilliant. Worked with women across the world as well, and all over the UK. So, for me, actually, COVID has opened up the world a bit, and we've had a pretty good few years. And actually, it's given me the flexibility to choose what hours I want to work, to choose how much I want to work, and to choose which clients I want to work with. And it's given me the time to spend with Mick rather than having to worry about fitting it all around a full-time job, which I did do when he was first diagnosed 2018, and we went through the chemo treatment and the stem cell transplant that year. I had to fit it all in around a full-time job, and I was a senior job running a high-profile, expensive program at the time, so there was a lot going on. Whereas this time, I've scaled my business back a bit at the moment so that we can spend some time together. The business is still good, but I just don't need to bust a gut at it. I just take it easy and work when I want to work. As long as we've got enough money to go on the cruises and holidays we want to do, then that's all great. Talking of cruises, it's 90 days until our cruise, which means I had to pay for it this week. But do you know what? I've got an interest-free credit card to pay it on because I might as well keep the money in our bank account. And Mick is very excited about going on the cruise, which is great to see. Keeps pulling out the paperwork and having a look at the ship and getting excited about it. So that's really good. And one final thing to celebrate this week is that his hair is definitely growing back. You can actually see the hair on his head now, just little hairs, but he's got a real covering now. And this is a cause of great celebration because he hates being bald. He's wearing a beanie hat all the time at the moment. So actually this will mean that he can lose the beanie hat and he'll have his hair back well before we go on the cruise. So that's a huge thing to celebrate. So it's been a good week overall, and part of the shitty weather, nothing else has been shit, which is fantastic. And it's Good Friday tomorrow, so it's a nice long weekend where we will relax, we're going to eat crap, we'll watch crap on the TV, so bring it on. So have a fantastic Easter yourself.